Well, I was born 1911, so 1929 would make it how old?
That's her question.
18 when I graduated from high school. And I planned to go in 1929, graduate from high school, and planned to go to Manhattan College in Kansas there, Manhattan, Kansas, at college and take up chemistry. But when the banks closed and all the jobs were all lost, well, there's no way in the world I could go to college, so I stayed home on the folks' farm with them for the 1929, 1930. And then my brother was teaching household physics and some other subject in the high school at Garden City, Kansas. And of course, now where I had been, we lived at Eudora, Kansas on the farm, and then I went finished up my grade school from the 4th grade on through high school at Winfield, Kansas, about 12, 18 miles away. But then after I graduated, I stayed there at the farm. And the next year then I went out and roomed and boarded with my brother. And had the newspaper out for all of Garden City for the Wichita Eagle. And I did other jobs. I guess the second year then, I worked in a cleaning shop, grocery store, and anything to make some money to pay room. I can't remember what I paid my brother for room and board, but I did pay something all 2 years I was there. Then that's when I met MMA. And after we were married then in 1932, July 30th, we went back to help my brother who was running Dad's farm. We had cash income that year, averaged $13 a month. Of course, we had beef, we had pork, we had eggs, we had chickens, and groceries, produce, and fruit that we grew. But as far as having cash, about $13 a month. That's all we earned. And yet, in that year, we bought a new 9x12 Congolian rug for our living room kitchen that we were living in on the farm, and a 3-burner gasoline Coleman stove, and I forget what else. Even on $13 a month. Okay, so then then I taught school starting in 33 out in western Kansas, where Grandma told you about the kitties. And that's when the dust storms hit. In the middle of the afternoon, we saw a wall of dust coming, just like it was boiling from the ground up, and it rotated backwards as it came. And that wasn't just a dust in the air, it was a wall of dirt, dust up in the air. And it was so severe that the next morning when we went out, we found dead meadowlarks and dead jackrabbits that had suffocated in that dust because the dust had took their lungs up. That's how bad that was. But then we taught school for 3 years then, and then went back to Garden City and started working in a grocery store. I have a newspaper, full-page ad that I'll have to send you a picture of. The store where I worked with Trader's grocery store. On that ad that I can send you, that newspaper ad, let's see, a full box or one box of Post brand, a box of Post grape nuts, and a little cereal dish for a youngster for 21 cents. 21 cents. for. Well, nowadays that grape nuts and the most brand would cost you around $5.
So, there are things in books and stuff that you can read about that some things like nylons and that type of thing, they cost like $5 and...
There wasn't any such thing as
There wasn't
nylon.
such thing as nylons then.
There
You
wasn't?
had cotton and silk. If you
Silk.
were rich, you could get a silk pair of hosiery. Remember?
Yeah, that's it.
But and nylons were developed quite some years later.
Well, we still lived in the apartment there on 11th when you brought me my first pair. So
Is that
I guess,
right? All right. But in that ad, just to show you how prices were, even Del Monte coffee was 2 pounds for 29 cents. 2 pounds of coffee, 29 cents.
Was that expensive to you guys back then?
It was expensive enough that we didn't buy it.
We didn't make coffee.
Let me tell you just how hard it was on that teaching school. When Grandma was pregnant with your grandmother, Maria May, and I was teaching out there, we would go to town on Friday night and then have gas drive back and forth 23 miles. We'd go to town on Friday night, stay with her folks, and on Saturday we'd buy our groceries for the next week. And by the way, that $10 grocery bill that she's talking about wasn't just for a week. It was to start your supply, lay in the larder and such, and flour and sugar and such. It would last for a long time. But we buy our groceries on Saturday, and then we go to church in town on Sunday with folks. And